The U.S. now ending its COVID emergency, or at least next week, which also means an end to the pandemic-era border policy known as Title 42.
The measure allowed officials to send hundreds of thousands of migrants to Mexico or their home countries on public health grounds. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is visiting the southern border today as the administration prepares for a spike in migration when the policy ends.
CBS News Homeland Security and Justice reporter Nicole Sganga joins us now from the border. Nicole, you witnessed an ICE removal flight just this morning. Bring us up to speed on what you saw and what's happening where you are now.
Yeah, Errol, Elaine, good to be with you. 133 one-way tickets on ICE Air. We watched as buses arrived at Harlingen's tarmac just after 7 a.m. local time. By 8:45 a.m., 133 adults wheels up for Guatemala City. We counted 45 women, 88 men. Bags, water, supplies loaded by ICE personnel in the early hours of this morning. Each individual who boarded that plane, each migrant went through a brief medical screening. They were temperature checked. They were patted down, their hands and feet in shackles, their shoelaces removed from their shoes. Two things the crew and I noticed overwhelmingly among the 133 that boarded that plane. They were young and they were understandably depleted after taking that very long trip to the U.S. just to be sent back. They are among tens of thousands just in recent months who have been expelled or removed on these types of flights. In fact, in fiscal year 2023, in the first half, there have been over 225,000 removed or expelled on these flights. That is up from the same time period in fiscal year 2022, roughly 170,000 there.
Nicole, it's pretty extraordinary to see these images. I mean, we just don't get to see these kinds of pictures. DHS does plan to continue removal flights in the coming weeks and months. So how will those flights change with Title 42 ending next week?
Yeah, so Elaine, right off the bat, Title 42, a very powerful tool, as powerful as it is controversial here on the U.S.-Mexico border, allowing U.S. Border Patrol agents to expel some migrants without any sort of immigration hearing or asylum interview. And, you know, that goes for the migrants we saw board that flight to Guatemala today. That was a Title 42 flight. Now, flights under Title 42 will no longer take place beginning on Thursday. That does not mean that there won't be more removal flights to come. The Biden administration saying it plans to take full advantage of its Title 8 authorities. Title 8, of course, is U.S. immigration code. They're going to expand something known as expedited removal, quickly deporting migrants. In addition to that, a 5-year ban on those who are, who undergo expedited removal. I do want to point out just behind us, you can see CBP responding to some migrants. In the distance there, we have been seeing groups of adults and children crossing here where we are in Brownsville, Texas, all morning after we observed that flight. So I just want to point that out to our viewers. We've so far seen men and women. We spotted some children earlier. This is a very active border crossing. You can see a child in frame right now. And so even though Title 42 is set to lift next week, next Thursday, I talked to border agents who say they are already seeing the impact of that policy change right now, especially here in the Rio Grande Valley.
Really remarkable real-time reporting there from our Nicole Sganga in Brownsville, Texas, near the border, as we watch this effort to handle migrants and tackle the immigration policy as a whole. Nicole will continue checking in with you throughout the day. Thank you very much.